This is the exact reason I tell my kids, friend or no friend, you can't trust anybody. How is it possible for a group of friends to go to Mississippi's Horn Island, but when they come back home, they come back without somebody that they went with? And they're going to say race ain't play a part. You see everybody in this picture right here. Tell me what looks different. Tell me. You had an 18-year-old accomplished football star, Nolan Wells, goes to Mississippi Horn Island with his friends on the 4th of July, and then he turns up missing. Mind you, all of his friends make it home safe. And the person that went with them, Nolan Xavier Wells, he's missing. And nobody has nothing to say about that. You have his so-called friends saying that they don't remember anything. They don't remember seeing what happened to him. Mind you, they have pictures on the boat. Mind you, they have pictures together, but nobody knows what happened to him. Now you got the Coast Guard, sheriff deputies, Marine units, and multiple agencies searching for him right now. They're searching the waters, searching surrounding areas, trying to figure out what happened. They're also saying that the last time he was seen with a team. They're also saying that they found his phone, but they didn't find him. What team do you know right now would leave his phone behind? Tell me that. But you see how all of this sounds? This is why disappearances like this and places like this always leave people questioning. If you spend time looking into missing person cases like this, then you already know what may be the outcome. Do you understand how this young man's parents has to feel? They just want their kid back. We definitely need to spread the word about this. We need some answers.
Hello folks, welcome back again to my channel, and if you're watching me for the first time, please don't forget to subscribe, like and share, especially this video. So folks, it's very sad that news have reached me that an 18-year football superstar goes to celebrate the 4th of July with his friends, but he never makes it back home. Days later, a viral video spreads across the internet. Millions of people don't ask questions, but a grieving family demands answers, which is very obvious. This is the heartbreaking story of Nolan Wells, a young man whose life was cut short, leaving behind a mystery that investigators are still trying to solve. So first, let's watch what happened, and we'll be back after the videos, and we'll share my commentary, and you'll share your thoughts in the comment section. Without further ado, let's get after it.
If 3 black people took a white man on a boat expedition and didn't return with him, the president would be making a speech right now. There is a double standard of justice and coverage. But here's why Kevin discusses in a great post about the national news's silence on Nolan Wells. If you Google Nolan Wells New York Times, there is no article. Nolan Wells MSNBC, nope, they haven't written one. Try CNN, all that they have is a TikTok-style video, no written article. And the Washington Post finally has an article only after his body was found. Here's why Kevin references a study that found while black people make up roughly 35% of missing persons cases in the FBI database at the time of the study, they received only 7 to 11% of media coverage. This is why local news outlets like the Mississippi Free Press that's been reporting on this are so important, and why it's so dangerous that news has been consolidating into these big billionaire-owned corporations, forcing lots of local outlets recently to keep shutting down. You can find the GoFundMe of Nolan's family at the Schmink and My Schmio, and one of the most important things is that families will tell you what they need. Sometimes that's privacy, spreading the word, financial support. We don't want to assume, we want to let them tell us how to help. His mother's request a couple days ago was if you have any pictures or videos that were taken on the northwest tip of Horn Island on July 4th to reach out to her. This is her Threads account, and you can provide evidence to help their investigation.
First thing I'm going to say is I would never leave without the full head count of my friends. That is rule number 1. We don't get off no damn island. We don't get onto no boat. We don't do nothing until we have every last person that we came with all in one place. You mean to tell me that no one took account for Nolan Xavier Wells before y'all got back on that boat to go back to the main island? Something's not adding up. 18-year-old Nolan Xavier Wells was last seen on July 4th with his friends on Horn Island outside of Jackson, Mississippi. He was last seen in blue shorts, sunglasses, and that's it. Nolan's parents are looking for him nonstop. They just want to find their son. Now, the U.S. Coast Guard and the Cajun Navy are looking for Nolan. The Cajun Navy commander said that he was last seen with a teen before he disappeared. They found his phone, but they did not find him. And if this is his friend group, I'm not gonna lie, I don't have that much faith in finding this boy alive. Because like I said before, there's no way in hell I would hop on a boat to go home and not all of my friends are accounted for. Y'all didn't give a fuck about him whatsoever. And there's somebody out there that was part of that friend group that knows what the fuck happened. But everybody's locking the fuck up. Now, I'm trying to keep the faith that this boy's just sitting there lost on this island and, you know, he fell asleep or some shit. But 9 times out of 10, we already know how this shit goes, especially with a friend group like that. My prayers go out to Nolan's mother and father and his family and friends. I hope I come with a better update.
Did y'all see what Attorney Ben Crump said about Nolan Wells' text messages?
Have been asked to turn over his cell phone to the Mississippi law enforcement authorities. But even that is troubling to them because they're saying messages that were deleted from his cell phone. So they want to try to dot every I and cross every T and investigate everything.
You don't find that suspicious? You don't find that suspicious?
That's very fucking suspicious. And the fact that y'all even brought his phone back without him is the most fucking suspicious thing. And how did y'all even get into his fucking phone to delete messages? Best believe all the messages can be retrieved. All they gotta do is contact the phone company and get the transcript of the messages that were deleted. So whatever y'all was trying to hide is gonna be found. It's clear his so-called friends didn't think this shit through. You know, a matter of fact, stop calling them fucking friends, because they ain't no motherfucking friends. Y'all are suspects in the murder of Nolan Wells. And the police chief is pissing me off because he want to keep saying there was no foul play, when clearly there is foul play if they were deleting text messages out of his fucking phone.
Hey, to all of my race friends, whatever nationality you in, whatever God you believe, hey, let this be a public service announcement. Let there ever be a time that my baby walk out this house with a group of friends and not return home with everybody else. You're going to feel every emotion that I feel times 10. Yeah. Let there be a time my son's property is returned back to me, but his body ain't, and it's not untouched and it's not unharmed. I'm going to show you why repercussions and consequences really should have been my middle name. I'm going to show you that I was the little girl from St. Louis, Missouri, the most grimiest state of all 50. How I came home from the hospital to a house in Castle Point. Then relocated over there to Berkeley, over on Hancock, the second house to the right. It was blue back then, might be painted now. Right around the corner from Airport Elementary, across the street and around the corner from Kinlock, where my uncle ran them domes at. You know what I'm saying? Mainly the apartments. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you why my family lived in Kirkwood. I'm gonna show you that I also had a cousin that was just executed by the state. Because when it came down to playing with his brother, we ready. You know, I'm going to show you why they call St. Louis the show me state. You show me 7 and I got you 8, I'm going to show you exactly why if I take your body over there to that east side across that bridge, you're never going to be found. It could never take a judge or a lawyer to get anything done. I'm just going to go ahead and warn you now. You can pull who you need to pull. Orange is actually a very vibrant color on me. I've smiled in a mugshot before, and it had nothing to do with my children. And I'll do it again, especially if it's a matter of fact, turn it into a video, please. I'll post it myself. I'm going to show you exactly why I grew up mute most of my life. You see, my problem is that I know so much, and I lay low and I place low intentionally, because the love that I have in my body, when you take me there, it's hard for me to tap out. I'm going to show you that I'm scared of me more so than I am you, because when it comes down to me, I'm deranged and I'm unhinged. I change faces on people's bodies. That's how crazy I thought I was at one point, until I know you try me when I'm true, and that's when we gonna show you that some shit gonna get through. You can ever bet, let my boy walk out this house, Jesus Christ would have to dig in Satan's pocket himself and throw ice water to everybody down in hell to get me off you. I'm going to show you why I shower with my ning ding in the shower with me, thanks to my uncle.
You see this story right here? If I'm the mother, baby, y'all son's been going back. Y'all were going back. And if my son don't come back, y'all don't come back either. Not sorry for my loss, baby. Ain't gonna be sorry for our loss. Because if I'm crying, all the mothers are crying. If I gotta plan a funeral, all the mothers are planning a funeral. We could do it on the same day for all I care. Okay? But I'm not gonna be the only one grieving while your son gonna get a slap on the wrist. And my son gone? No, baby. No, baby.
Do you know what I think? Those 3 white boys took the life of this black male. That's the truth. I know that some of you don't want to believe that, but it is the truth. And it's not the first time, and it won't be the last. So, yeah.
Hey, hey, Nolan Wells! Hey, hey, Nolan Wells! Hey, Nolan Wells! Hey, Nolan Wells! Yes, sir, know the truth. Yes, sir, know the truth. They can't lie to you. They can't lie to you. Hey, hey, Nolan Wells! Hey, hey, Nolan Wells! Hey, Nolan Wells! Hey, Nolan Wells! We left that church. We left that church. And this is how it goes. This is how it goes. My reverend, there when I left. You're right. Pastor was there when I left. You're right. Preacher, there when I left. You're right. The elder was there when I left. You're right. Hey, hey, Nolan Wells. Hey, hey, Nolan Wells. Hey, Nolan Wells. Hey, Nolan Wells. Hey, hey, Nolan Wells. Hey, Nolan Wells. Yes, sir, Nolan Wells. Yes, sir, Nolan Wells. And 200 years. And 200 years. Yes, sir, Nolan Wells. Yes, sir, Nolan Wells. 1619. 1619. Yes, sir, here we go. Yes, sir, here we go. Hey, hey, Nolan Wells. Yes, sir, know the truth. You're right. You're right.
If no one's gonna say it, I'm gonna say it, bro. Fuck it. There's something about black people, this superior, sublime. They just got it all, bro. Athleticism, soul, finesse, rhythm. Like, it's the OP race. Think about it. Y'all melanated folk, like, I know I'm glazing, but I kiss you on your forehead. I look up to you. God bless you all.
The brainwashed black man can never learn to stand on his own 2 feet until he is on his own.
Black parents, we need to have an uncomfortable conversation, because sometimes what we think might actually be protecting our kids is really exposing them to more harm. Now, after hearing that story about Nolan, the young black boy who went on a boat trip with his all-white friends, but he was the only one who didn't return. And now a lot of black parents are asking some hard questions. Because for generations, black families were told the goal is simple. Move to what they call a better neighborhood. Get into what they call a better school district. Put your child in better opportunities. But honestly, at some point, we got to ask, better according to who? Because what is the price of a better zip code if your child is constantly fighting to prove that they belong in it? What's the price if they start believing that being accepted is the same thing as being protected? And this is where the conversation is going to get uncomfortable. Some of our kids grew up thinking America was post-racial because their friend group was diverse. They thought because somebody invited them over, laughed with them, played sports with them, that meant that those people understood their experience. Friendship doesn't automatically mean awareness, and proximity doesn't automatically mean protection. And parents, I want to tell you, this is not about telling your children who they can and cannot be friends with. This is about making sure that your child understands who they are before the world tries to tell them who they are. Because sometimes we're so busy trying to get our child a seat at somebody else's table, we forget to ask what they had to give up to get there. Better schools mean nothing if your child loses their confidence. Better neighborhoods mean nothing if your child feels isolated. Protect your babies. Talk to your babies. Because the goal was never for our children to just survive in these spaces. The goal was for them to know their worth no matter what space they choose to walk into.
Dear white people, Black people are not safe in your presence. And before all of you idiot and anonymous trolls get in my comments talking about, not all white people are bad, let me stop you right the fuck there. My parents taught me from a very young age to treat everyone with kindness, dignity, and respect, regardless of what they looked like. But being from Detroit, they also taught me about the challenges that I could potentially face as a black man growing up in America. I grew up with the understanding that most of us have the capacity to do good, including white people. However, white people, when they do wrong, also have the capacity to get away with it because of their privilege. So when I was reading the news about Nolan Wells' disappearance this morning, it immediately redirected my mind to all the lessons my parents taught me from when I was young. It would really be fucked up of me to say blame the parents, because I've seen enough of that bullshit online already. And his family's already been through enough. They know that their son is gone and isn't coming back home. But I do think that this story offers a cautionary tale to other parents raising black children, to educate them on the importance of discerning who their friends are, and to always be intentional about being in spaces where people have your best interests. And unfortunately, in a world that safeguards them from consequences of their own evil actions, that safety doesn't tend to be found in white people.
All right, racists, let's talk about the truth. There is so much discourse lately about who is native and who is indigenous, and even the nerve to bring up who is the architect of soul food. And what everyone needs to understand is that black people are the earth. Black people are the only unmutated humanity. They told you humans came from Africa like it was a migration story. But that's not the truth. The truth is, Africa is the first face of the earth. And blackness is the source of all biology. Everyone else? Genetic drift, mutational echo, survival glitches adapted to ice and exile. Let's talk origins. The black woman is the womb of the world. Forget the Eve in the garden story. That was a stolen metaphor. The real Eve lives in the woman's mitochondria. And not just any women. Melanin-rich, thick-hipped, thick-lipped, and copper-toned. Elegant, poised, literally perfect, planet-rooted black women. White women don't carry the full ancestral genome. Asian, Mexican, and Native women only carry fragments. Black women carry the total code. She doesn't reproduce diversity. She births the whole species. When small African offshoot groups migrated north, they weren't evolving. They were mutating, adapting to survival, not thriving. That's where lighter skin, narrow nostrils, reduced melanin, and behavioral changes began. All signs of environmental stress, not superiority. You don't get white by evolving, you get white by forgetting the sun. And that forgetting is not advancement, it's progression. The white genome contains 1 to 4% Neanderthal DNA. Let me repeat, they didn't just descend from humans. They were cavemen. Black people have 0 Neanderthal admixture. That's not a joke. That's biology. Black people are the originals. Non-black people are the remix. The problem is, the remix decided to express its evil nature by attempting to erase the original track. Let's talk indigenous. The term indigenous was invented by settlers to decide who was native enough to be managed, named, and displaced. But indigenous is a political term, not a genetic one. And political terms can't overwrite blood memory. Being first on the continent does not make you first on the planet. However, black people being first on the planet means they are first on every continent. The black genome is Earth's source code. Everyone else is just running a copy of their biological operating system. The war against black genetics is a war against humanity. Melanin isn't pigment, it's the processor. It's the molecule that translates solar energy into life. Plants have it, animals have it, humans need it. Black people have the highest concentration of it, which means black people don't just live on Earth, they translate it. They are not just a race, they are the root species. Black isn't a color, it's the motherboard. Every other group, adaptations, mutations, and mistakes. This isn't supremacy. This is truth. Black people didn't come from Africa. Africa came from black people.
I had to stop real quick. Any white folks, I'm gonna give you 3 seconds to just leave this video. This won't be the video for you. 1, 2, 3. Okay, black folks, let me tell your ass something. Specifically black parents. Have you ever seen a white parent let they only white male child go on vacation with 3-4 other black motherfuckers? Think about it. Have you ever seen that? Have you ever seen one token white motherfucker go on vacation with 3 or 4 black motherfuckers? Have you ever seen that shit? Because I don't think I have, and I've been on this motherfucking world for goddamn 38 goddamn years. I don't think I have. So why the fuck would you let your only black, not only, but you let your only fucking, your black boy go on vacation with 4 white motherfuckers during this presidency? Why the fuck would you let that happen? They sacrificed that boy. And I don't give a fuck what the autopsy report come back, drowned. They sacrificed that boy. Let's be fucking real. Because that's their culture. That's what the motherfuckers do. They shoot deer and all type of shit, kill shit every motherfucking day. Look through them kids' phone.
Why do white people pay so much attention to black people if they don't like them? You would think if you didn't like something, why would you be paying attention to it? I don't pay attention to things I don't like.
What's the answer?
The answer is the liar knows what lie he told. You see what I'm saying? So even if I made it deceitful and I made you think that the answer is over here, but the answer is really over here, I'm still gonna be looking over here. Me, the one that tricked, because I know this is the right answer. Black people have lost their identity, but our oppressors have not lost our identity. This is why they chopped those noses off of the Pharaoh and the Sphinx in Egypt in the first place, is because without this nose, we can tell you this is whoever it is. But with that nigga nose, it can only be niggas. Why would somebody vandalize a whole face and only vandalize one part? Nobody wanted to knock an eye off or take an ear off or no chins missing. No, just the nose.
Yeah, welcome back again, my great audience, and I hope what we have watched what people's view are. And false. Nolan Wells was known as more than just an athlete. To his family and friends, he was a son, a teammate, and someone with a bright future ahead of him. Just imagine, 18-year-old child with vision of his future is no more. How painful is it to the family? So false. He was preparing to continue his football journey as normal in college when tragedy struck during a 4th of July trip to Horn Island, is it Mississippi? But false, according to investigators, Nolan disappeared during the celebration, and after a search of effort, his body was found days later. Authorities said they are still investigating the circumstances surrounding his death. But then, a video began spreading online. The footage appeared. It is seen all over TikTok, everywhere. And it shows a tense argument on the island, causing many people on social media to wonder whether it was connected to Nolan's disappearance. However, investigators have warned that online speculations can be misleading. They are working to verify what happened, what was involved, and whether the video actually relates to Nolan's case. False. Nolan's friends have also spoken about the final moments they remembered with him, while his family continues to ask a complete and transparent investigation. But false, the biggest question of today is, how did a normal holiday celebration turn into a tragedy? That's a question with no answer. And what happened during Nolan's final hours? What was happening during that hours where they were spending with his friends? But at the moment, there are still more questions than answers. I won't say much for today because I do not have the full story. The investigators are still going on with the process. But the internet may have those theories. But only facts, only evidence, and a proper investigation can reveal the honest truth. Behind every viral video is a real person, a real family. But in our situation is a very sad family, a real pain. Imagine your child going out with his friends, but his friends comes back, but your child doesn't come back with them. They went together but never came back together. Then you hear some news saying he's no more. You can't see him again. Rest in peace, Nolan Wells. Nolan Wells was not just a trending story. He was a young man whose dream he loved everyone. He has a dream. He had a future. Only 18 years old. And a future that was taken away too soon. It's very painful. I don't even have much to say. Let me know what you think about the story in the comment section. And false, just be respectful because investigations are still going on. False, if you're watching me for the first time, please, I beg you, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share for more commentary and more facts going on abroad. Until next time, peace, my brothers and sisters.